Welcome to the Vegas Insider channel here on YouTube as we continue our look at the NASCAR playoffs as it heads to Talladega Super Speedway coming up on Sunday. Kevin Rogers and Micah Roberts with you. Micah's here as he is every week to break down the races. And Micah, let's begin with at least last week at Texas. Tyler Reddick became the seventh different driver the last 7 races to win the checkered flag. So it pretty much feels like a toss-up every single week with these races.
Yeah, it is. And that's the beauty of the new car. The next-gen car is doing its steel parity like we've never seen before. 19 different winners in 30 races. That I think it's been done once or twice early, maybe in the 70s or something. But I haven't seen it as far as since I've been making odds, creating odds, and betting NASCAR. So this is fun. And it's fun because you can go into races now and not just take the favorite like we used to do in the old days. It's now you can have a chance, a legitimate chance to hit a 50 to 1, a 60 to 1, a 70 to 1, a 20 to 1, 25 to 1. Like you're not separating it by, wow, Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon and these guys are going to win. It's completely different now. So I love that aspect about it. And this race, Talladega, this is a monster. This is a 2.66 mile beastly, 33 degrees of banking, triple wide, 4 wide. It's exciting and it's edge of your seat. And, I pace the whole time during races, but this one I pace, but I'm always at the edge of my seat, if that makes any sense, because any little bump, any little irregular movement will create the big one. And we're going to see probably 1 or 2 of those Sunday as well. So looking forward to it. But the strategy for this doesn't change how we used to do it. We just never really won a lot of those bets betting the 50 to 1 or 25 to 1 drivers. Now you take a favorite or 2, maybe a middle of the road guy, 18 to 1, 20 to 1, and then you can throw in 3 or 4 bombs at 28, 33, 50, and 66 to 1, somewhere around those ranges, and have a legitimate shot to cash in. So we'll go over a couple of those with you, Kevin.
So, Micah, one driver we've not really talked about in these videos, we've hit on Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott. We'll talk about Chase in a minute, but also Ryan Blaney. I want your thoughts on him to start. 12 to 1. He's had some success here at the super speedways. What do you think about Ryan Blaney's chances to win at Talladega?
I love it. First of all, he's with Team Penske, and they have great cars. That's the same reason I like Austin Cindric in road courses and super speedway races, because Team Penske builds great cars. Joey Logano's in that group too. But Blaney, I like him because he's really good in point situated right now in the championship chase. And he has no wins on the season other than winning $1 million at the All-Star race, but that's a non-point race. So he wants to win bad. And if he's in a situation, we talk all the time about him not being aggressive as he should be, not being the guy that bumps somebody out of the way. He's Mr. Nice Guy and people bump him out of the way. So this is a race I think he can kind of regain his respect. Not that anybody, but people have been taking advantage of him all season. And so I think he could be in a situation where maybe he has to make that bump to move someone out of the way. And, you hate to have that happen at Talladega, but it is a place where he reacts very well, and he's got a high-performing car. So I think he's definitely someone you might want to include in your betting package this week.
What about Chase Elliott? Someone we always talk about here, Micah. And, we've seen him with some success at Talladega, and he's trying to move up that playoff leaderboard. But what about Chase? What have you seen? 12, 13 to 1 on him this week?
Yeah, 13 to 1 at the Caesar Sportsbook. I saw that was pretty juicy. I like that. First of all, the last race we saw in the super speedway was Daytona. He finished 29th, and you're looking at it, it's like, oh, that's not very good. But he led 5 different times during that race before an accident for 31 laps. And then the previous race, so we've had 5 races now on super speedway package, including 2 races at Atlanta Motor Speedway. He won. That's his home track. He won at that race on July 10th. He led a race high 96 laps. Same package that will be run this week. Same package that's been run at Daytona and Atlanta. So I like that aspect about Chase Elliott. He's going to have a car that's going to be super fast. He's going to lead a bunch of laps, and he'll be there at the end. And in these races, that's all you can hope for, is try to have your car in the top 10 lead pack, because anything can happen on that last lap. Anybody can win. We saw Ross Chastain win in the spring race at Talladega. He led only 1 lap, and that was the last lap. Win the race.
Bubba Wallace, someone else you mentioned in your article and your write-up this week on Vegas Insider for the YellaWood 500. He won here last year's first Cup win. What about eyes on Bubba for for a repeat here at Talladega?
Yeah, first I would recommend shop around because I've seen a variety of prices from 13 to 1 to 20 to 1, 18 to 1. Shop around, get the best price for sure on him if you like him, putting him in your equation. But he's got the fast Toyotas, the Gibbs cars are fast, and he's got supreme confidence now. And I think that's part of it all. He's learning how to win, and now he feels like he knows he's one of the best super speedway drivers. So he's carrying that confidence and that swagger. And I believe that's part of it. Denny Hamlin did really well with that, having that same type of swagger, knowing that he reads and sees the draft better than anybody. And Bubba's done a good job even before he came to Jordan and Hamlin's team. He was phenomenal with Petty Motorsports, almost won the Daytona 500 one year. So I think that he's a very good bet here. I look to, I don't know, maybe play him in some top 5 matchups. And I mean, if he's in the top 5, he's probably going to win. But he was, what was that, runner-up in the Daytona 500. So, yeah, look for him to be very good this week.
Micah, we've discussed a lot on these videos about the long shots that have won these races. Give me one or two that you're keeping an eye on for Sunday at Talladega that could maybe surprise some people.
Number one, the second most money I bet this week has been on Austin Dillon. And it was like the same process for Daytona to close out the regular season race. And only 10 drivers finished on the lead lap of that race. If it shows you any indication of how volatile these type of races are, Talladega is going to be the same thing. Maybe not that type of the wrecks like we saw in that last Daytona race. But the thing is, Austin Dillon's always there. He was runner-up in the Daytona race, barely got beat by Chastain. He's going to be there. So here's the deal. If I got 28 to 1 at Daytona in the super speedway race, and then I come back here and I get 28 to 1 again, I don't understand that bookmaking. He's already proved that he can win. He was already second at Talladega. On the same instance, a driver like Austin Cindric has been 20 to 1, and now he's 16 to 1. He's moved up. Dillon's put out the pasture for some reason. I guess robot bookmakers, odds makers, don't understand it, but I'm not complaining. I just bet it. And so he's a driver I'm really looking at. Another one is, for some reason, Eric Jones. He's 28 to 1. I mean, I would look at 35 to 1, 40 to 1 on him. And then Chase Briscoe. And I like him only because of the fact that he's sitting pretty good in points right now and his situation. And he finished third in the Daytona 500. He understands how to move around in this type of racing and maneuver. And I think he's a really live long shot. See what you can get. Shop around again. I've seen 28 to 35 to 1 on Briscoe to win. So get the best number on him as possible. But again, mix it up. Take some of these guys, these long shots, and put them in with some of the favorites, and then roll the dice, because it is a crapshoot, right? Every time we talk Daytona and Talladega, it is a crapshoot. It is throwing darts. It is rolling dice. It's all those things that got to come together. But when you win, it is so sweet because you've just exhausted so much energy watching this race on the edge of your seat. I stand up on the edge of my seat standing up, but it is really exhausting. And it'll be one of the races I pay attention most live during NFL Sunday so far since that has started, because I only got so many 5 TVs, and this one I'll be paying a lot of attention to live.
Now, Mike, before we let you go, who do you have winning Talladega on Sunday?
Chase Elliott, and I got Hamlin, and I've got Dillon. I've already told you I had the second most on him, but those would be the guys I focus on the most. And then, of course, Logano, Blaney, those guys will be around as well. And Chastain's going to do some things. I saw him as high as 15 to 1, had to take some of that. So I got a lot of guys, and I hope to win. If you bet enough, one of them's going to hit, takes your profit margin down, but it keeps it exciting.
Micah Roberts, you could find his work at Vegas Insider, covers the NASCAR circuit every week. He's got great write-ups on each of the races, top 5 predictions, the drivers to watch. And you can find Micah at Vegas Insider. Also, he has his NFL and college picks there. Micah, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, man.
All right, that is Micah Roberts. I am Kevin Rogers. Thanks a lot for watching. And as always, best of luck with your bets.